Okay, I'm gonna go on Mythbusters on your guys' ass about LSD. There's a lot of old wives' tales that float around regarding the drug LSD. Uh, there's actually several, and they're fucking ridiculous. The people that believe them are fools, and people that perpetuate these myths are fucking liars. One is that if you take, what is it? It depends on the source who's telling it, but roughly it's usually if you take more than like 7 hits of LSD, you're considered legally insane. Wrong. Wrong. No court in the fucking United States will consider you legally insane because you've taken LSD. Now, you may, if you have a good enough defense attorney, if you get in trouble, you may be able to plead temporary insanity because you were that high if you had taken all 7 hits at once on LSD. But that can be said for almost any drug, and that's not a fact. That is an exception to the rule, depending on the circumstances. It has nothing really to do with LSD. It has to do with, your attorney. So that myth is dispelled. You're not legally insane. I have personally taken, I estimate 150 hits of LSD in my lifetime. And it was condensed into a short time of about 4 years. So I was high a lot in those 4 years. And that's not including the 30 hits of LSD that I took. And that's an estimate. It could have been 20 to 30. It was at least 20, no more than 30. Who knows, right? Who cares? It's a lot of fucking acid. Um, I'm not insane, you know. Would my life, my mental health, and my emotional health be any different if I hadn't taken that much LSD? Who knows? It's all speculative, right? Who knows what you would have been like if you never done any drugs or... I mean, it's all, I'm saying, it's all speculative. Nobody knows, but I'm obviously not insane. I'm not perfect, but I'm fairly well grounded, I don't think it's had any, severe detrimental influence upon my life, my emotional health, my mental health, whatever. So that's a lie. Granted, you can beat yourself up with any drug to the point of, becoming an imbecile. But I don't think LSD is the demon drug that some people like to make it to be. Now, we all know people that sniff paints and stuff like that, inhalants, and that are just complete, utter retards. That will eat holes in your brain. LSD is something completely different. So, yeah, I would say that's a fucking myth. Yeah, you're not legally insane if you've taken more than 7 hits of LSD. Myth. Busted. The other one is, if you get caught with enough LSD, you can get charged with manslaughter. Not true. That's definitely a myth. When I was in 9th grade, I got caught with 50 hits of LSD, half a sheet. Okay? I was selling LSD at the school. Somebody narked on me. Cops came into the classroom, pulled me out of the classroom, took me to the principal's office, searched me and my backpack and my locker. And they found the LSD in my backpack. It was in a piece of foil, wrapped in foil, sandwiched between a book. Well, they already knew that I was selling LSD, so they tore my shit apart and found it. I went to jail for about 2 or 3 hours. They called my mom. My mom came pick me up, and I was released. I got expelled from school. That's really not a legal thing. That's the school's decision. Criminally, what happened was I was charged, and this is in Arizona. This isn't like a lenient state on drugs. Arizona is pretty fucking hardcore when it comes to laws, especially drugs. It's one of the worst places you want to get caught with drugs in the country. I got busted in Arizona. I'm trying to remember what the charges were. Oh, the charges were being in possession of a dangerous and or controlled substance. So what they did is they tested the 50 hits of LSD. With however they tested, all of them came up positive for LSD. And they took the 50 hits and they put it on a scale and they weighed it. And it weighed something of like just over half a gram. And so I got charged with being in possession of a dangerous controlled substance weighing, I think it was like 0.6 grams. So, and I was prosecuted, even though I was a juvenile, they still prosecuted me as hard as they could. If I was an adult, I might have done a little bit of jail time, like a week or something. But, it definitely was nowhere close to manslaughter. It was a simple drug charge. I ended up getting a $300 fine. I'm trying to remember, this is a long time ago. I think it was a $300 fine. I got 100 hours of community service, and I had to do drug classes for like 6 weeks, and I was on probation for a year. So, far cry from manslaughter. Myth 2 busted. No, you are not going to be convicted of manslaughter if you're caught with LSD. What was the other one? Yeah, basically if you take enough LSD, you can become permanently frying. You can permanently fry a trip. I don't know. I mean, what's a lot of LSD to you guys? I mean, I took 20 or 30 hits, and I was high for a couple days, and I wasn't right for like a week. I felt funky and weird, and everything was a little surreal. I don't know if you can actually permanently fry or trip off of LSD if you're taking enough. I mean, what's enough? I mean, that's all speculative too. People always say, yeah, man, I knew this guy, man. I knew this guy once in high school, man. He took like a fucking sheet of acid, man, and he's in a mental institution to this day. That guy's full of shit. Nobody knows that guy. Everybody says they know that guy. Nobody knows that guy. Oh, what's his name? Yeah? What hospital's he at? Yeah? Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I don't doubt you can permanently fuck yourself up on any drug, whether it's LSD, heroin, cocaine, meth, whatever. Anything done to even booze. You can drink yourself to death. But I don't think you're going to drink yourself permanently drunk. And I think the same kind of applies to LSD. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to test this theory, but at the same time, taking large quantities of LSD at one time by myself, or on myself, whatever, I don't think I'm permanently frying. What's that? Joking. No. No. I think I'm fairly sound, reasonable. What was the other one? The other myth I was going to bust about LSD. I think that's it. Yeah, so it's not quite the mystical demon drug that people claim to be, and most people are full of shit when they come to their stories about, yeah, I knew this guy once who took this much LSD and he's permanently frying, man. Oh, and flashbacks. I'm hoping I have a flashback. I've yet to have a flashback. I've yet to be be sober and just have this flashback like I'm tripping again. Never happened. I don't even know if that actually does happen, because it's never happened to me, and I would think I'd be a great candidate for it. Never happened. I'm waiting. I think that'd be fucking awesome. But I think that's a myth too. I don't see flashbacks as being real. I don't think that happens. Thing is your mind and it's stable, right? Or it has its limitations. It has its abilities, and they're preset. Now you can fuck with your mind with drugs and external stimuli, right? And a weak mind might collapse. A strong mind that's rooted in reality, will be more resilient. It'll bounce back. It might be like, it might take a punch, but it'll bounce back. Whereas a weak mind that already has, its neurosis and its mental issues might deteriorate quicker. So if you're already prone to being psychotic, if you're already prone to mental illness, you can definitely induce a state of psychosis and neurosis and whatever, schizophrenia. If your mind's already prone to that, you can exacerbate and accelerate its decay and its fall into mental illness using drugs. But someone who's not predisposed to those types of psychosis and mental illnesses will probably never have those problems regardless of the amount of drugs they do, with some exceptions. But yeah, that's my myth busting about LSD.